Howdy folks, Captain Kedger here. Just thought I'd show you. Started painting the innards with some gel coat and finally getting to that stage where I'm going to make the bottom a sky blue and I'll find a water line here. I'll throw it in the lake over there and test it out and figure out where the water line is when everything's on it but not loaded down. I'll get a good idea where the water line is and then I'll put a dark blue boot stripe on it. But there we got the kick up rudders mounted. I got these pieces of trim here are so that I can add netting or decking here across here later. I might find a stand of bamboo or something and make or weave a net. Ooh, that smells strong. Still drying. But I'm gonna have the inside gel coat and the side rails here will be white. Inside will be white and the outside this will be sky blue like that, except for the boot stripe. And I might go ahead and do the trim with a different color. Lee boards here, I was going to do those with gel coat, but I'm thinking I might have to wait until they've been used a little bit more. They're going to have to be worn in because they are a bit of a snug fit. Should have made the slots a little looser, but I imagine the inside of these slots will get wore out a little bit, and then the slots themselves will be, the lee boards will get worn down some, and I'll be able to put some gel coat on them. For now, I'm going to leave them bare, just the fiberglass and resin, because they'll get stuck if I put any more layers on it. But that's what it is. Get this thing painted with the gel coat, the boot stripe on it, and then I got just enough resin left. Should be just enough there to make a mast step or some kind of mount for the mast. And I have to go purchase the metal for the mast before I build that, so I know exact fit. But yeah, she's just making progress. She's so close, so close. I still got to put some pins in here. The rudders right now are not attached to the coupler, but I got it set up to where I can put my seat here and I can reach the throttle and the steering from there, or I can even sit on the rail. I would probably be sitting on a seat cushion because, I don't know, maybe I'll get some pool noodles and put them on those rails to make them soft. But um, yeah, man, she's so close to. I cannot wait to get this thing launched and get it out there, see how she sails, see how she points. And just there's your update for the day. Just in case anybody's following along and wondering, what kind of progress I've made. That's where she's at. And I found myself a little creeper. The neighbor was throwing this away. I pulled it off the side of the road, and it's missing a wheel here in the middle. But that looks like it'll be perfect to balance the main body center hull the canoe on, to roll it down there to the lake and back. Gonna have to rent something to haul this with, and I somehow just I don't think it's going to make sense to rent it just to take it out to the lake and test it out. I need to take this to the lake and find the water line and test out how she sails and floats. And I still haven't even tested the motor. It's still just right out of the box, put on there and put some gear oil in it. But she's never had any gas in her, and I've never owned a Hankai. Pull the hood off, it looks just like a Mercury, as I said before, but it seems like everything is just like a Mercury 5-horse. But I'm anxious to try that out. Cheapest motor that money could buy without going. I mean, I won't touch those little 3-horse or those things with the lawnmower engines on top. They're just, I've seen too many people put, you know, you buy a $200 motor and that's what you get. It's basically a weed eater that burns out right away. And I've seen too many people have too many problems with them. And I've been the guy they come to get them fixed, and I just get tired of fixing the same motor over and over. And it's just, I'm not gonna. Uh, I could have gone with a smaller motor. Maybe even could have gone with a larger motor, but this motor is really just for getting in and out of cuts wherever, like if I get stuck in a strong current and the wind's not going my way. I don't want to be stuck in the mangroves for 3 weeks again, or if the weather's getting bad and, I just need to get into port. Um, I primarily am I'm anticipating that this will point real nicely, and especially once I get it schooner rigged, it should point real nicely. And so I don't figure that I will use the motor much. It's just almost just for emergencies, and I'll have a couple paddles for emergencies too. But I think this thing's just going to run primarily on sails, and maybe every once in a while, if I need to go upriver or something, then I'll probably have to use the motor if the wind's not just right. And then there's times when, like say down in Biscayne Bay, I was, if I didn't catch just the right wind and get just the right distance, by the end of the day, the next 3 weeks would be the wind going the wrong way. But if I got around that one point, then I could ride those next 3 weeks of wind and keep sailing. And, that motor will make the difference where, okay, I didn't make it to that point, and now the wind's changing direction. No big deal. Pull the motor out and run for an hour on it, get around that point, and then catch that changing wind and at a new angle and continue on the trip. And I think that, that would save me weeks and weeks of just sitting around waiting on just the right winds. So it's going to be nice having that motor, even though I really don't need to rely on it. Anyway, there she is. I've done pretty much all the fiberglass work I plan on doing on it for now, till I get a big bundle of money. If somebody wants to donate a few $1,000s, then I would like to eventually raise these pontoons up to back here. I'd like to actually raise it all up to the same height as the stabilizers, all the way down. I'd like to get this height here all the way up to here, and have hatches in the top. I'd keep the bottom part sealed for the most part, maybe have some sealed hatches that I can get into to pump them out. But I'd like some storage up here, and probably go ahead and raise these up the gunnels up here all the way across, just so that I can hit a nice big wave and not get wet in there. Maybe even put a cover over this, a hard top over it with a hatch in it, or if somebody wants to sit up there, they can open the hatch and sit. I don't know. I might, because imagine with decking across here on both sides, I could have a passenger sitting just about anywhere. I could set them up a lawn chair and bolt it down just about anywhere on that deck, and they don't need to be in the actual, in the bow of the hull. I could turn that all into storage. So at this point, my biggest concern is balancing it. It looks like it's going to be heavy on the front and light in the back. So I may have to build some kind of battery compartment back here where I can put both batteries in a dry box back here, and that'll get quite a bit of weight to the back, and then maybe put the fuel tank here under the seat. Whatever I do back here for weight, I need to be able to lay down in there until I get some decking up. I thought about taking these plywood pieces and laying them across here. Just let me see if I can show you what I mean. If I put a piece of plywood across there, then it gives me a platform where I could store some fuel tanks and water jugs here. But I am out of fiberglass, and I can't sink any more money into the fiberglass. So it's what it is for now. This is the hull that I'm working with. It's getting painted and rigged and equipped and launched. I may just take this plywood here and screw it down and maybe even paint it or something. Use it till I get something better. I have some slats of bamboo wood, little 1x4 slats that I might put there just to give me a deck here. I'm really kind of concerned about the balance, and I need to be able to put some weight back here to balance out all the weight that's going to be up front. So I imagine most of my gear will be up front here, and on the sides I need to have a bed underneath there to lay down until I can get once I get a mast here and I get another mast up front, I might be able to rig some kind of hammock, or if I get decking or netting on either side, I can have bedding there. But there again, then you have this problem with mosquitoes coming from underneath. If I'm inside here, I can cover it with netting easily and stay out of the no-see-ums and mosquitoes, and those are often a big problem. It also makes it much easier to rainproof this. Is just have a tarp over the front, and you see I got some Velcro strips there for that purpose. And then over the back, I added these blocks of wood here so that I could put some uprights here and go over the motor, have somewhere to tie a backstay to, and that will also give me something to tie a tarp down to if it's raining and I'm just sitting at anchor waiting out some rain. The bimini covers quite a bit, but it blows in from the front or sides, and you're getting wet in there under that bimini. So it's nice to have a place to all the way to the back. First of all, I definitely need a place to fasten the backstay, but it'll be good to have a place to tie down a tarp also, a rain fly. Maybe eventually I'll make some custom rain flies or covers and canvas covers waterproof canvas to cover everything. Be nice to have something going the full 8-foot width. But I mean, I'm kind of torn between that and just covering the center hull, because there may be times when I take the outriggers off and just use this as a little canoe. Or I should say a big canoe. I got the old canoe in the back that I promised to a friend. I may end up getting like a stand-up inflatable stand-up paddleboard or something like that. You know, that's not a bad idea actually. If I put a stand-up paddleboard on either side here, it would actually make a good air mattress too. And then I'd have something where I could pull in somewhere and anchor this up and then take the paddleboard to shore and have a spare, you know, for a friend. Maybe even a girlfriend would be nice. That's where the SB Hammerhead, I've decided that's her name, and that's how far she's gotten. I left enough space here. Now I've got it hanging off the edge there, so these actually come all the way together here, and it leaves just enough space between here and here for a 2x4. And I think I may have a 2x4 extend from that trim all the way out the front here and act as a bowsprit. That way I can have a roller for the anchor chain and a spot to tie down a forestay, and maybe even a second spot here for another forestay. I may cutter rig this eventually. For now, it's just going to be at first it'll just be sloop rigged, but I want it to be versatile. I want to be able to add to it over time, keep improving on it over time. I want this thing to go for years and years. So put these little blocks here, drainage on either side so water can drain off. But this gives me something because I want to put my nav lights here. And I've noticed that a lot of boats, a lot of the dinghies I've had will go under a dock at low tide, and then tide comes in or a wave comes in and slams the dinghy under the bottom of the dock. And the first thing that happens is it smashes your nav lights. So I'll probably put a LED here and one here, connect them, run the wire through here and have, you know, water drainage. On both sides, and this will just give it a little something to screw into. I can also put a cleat here and over there. You know, it just gives me something to screw into to put decking on or rigging, cleats, rope grabs, whatever I need to put on here later and not screw into the fiberglass. And yes, it is coated in fiberglass just to seal it. And yeah, there might be little holes in it and little air pockets and stuff. I didn't really get too particular about making it perfect. I don't care. If I get rotted wood, I'll dig it out and gouge it out and fill it with resin later, or maybe just foam. I don't care. I just need something for now to you know, I've got places where I can screw eyelets on the inside for netting and storage, places where I can put a cleat here, you know, some ties to fasten the outriggers and pull them inward, places to put rope grabs and cleats for my halyards, pulleys. This is also a rail for fastening pulleys to wherever I need to. I probably end up having a pulley here and a cleat here for docking, a pulley for the I got an idea on these jib sheets that I may make some kind of rigging where I can work everything from the back real easily. But, just tossing around ideas, and I don't think that once it's launched, I'm not going to have any money to mess with it for a while till I get somewhere where I can make some money. Unless I get some sponsors or donations, I'm not going to have a bunch of funds to improve on it much once I leave here. So I need to have those little spots for improvements to be added later. But that's where I'm at, and getting closer, much closer. Very soon, this will be out on the water. You see me sailing her. Oh, I can't wait. So anyway, there we are. Y'all have a great day. And until next time, Captain Kedger signing out.